What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
James Hsu.
.com, and today we got 3 films. We have Everest, we have Black Mass, and we have The Maze Runner, Scorch Trials. What are you watching?
I'm watching all of them, but right now we're going to be talking about Black Mass. James, really quick, you've known me for a long time, and I think one of the most distinct arguments we've always had is about Johnny Depp.
Yep.
I'm sure
we even have a special video on him.
We do. We have multiple videos on him. I actually just did my top 5 favorite Johnny Depp performances this week to prepare for this movie.
It's already online on youtube.com/ChasingCinema.
I'll put the link in the description box for you guys.
By the way.
But I just felt like Johnny Depp has not produced a really, really powerful performance in a very long time. Captain Jack obviously made him a global phenomenon, and that was in early 2000s, so I could probably say, though he's done movies that are good in between that time, nothing really spectacular. And then the last 5 years, he's done nothing good, like Dark Shadows and movies
Dark
like
Shadows
that.
was not good.
No bueno.
Transcendence?
Transcendence.
That was not good.
Mordecai was this year.
That was what, January?
Yeah, it was like January, February, which is real interesting because it reminds me of when Sandra Bullock won. Because a lot of people said this movie is getting Oscar buzz, that his performance is getting Oscar buzz. So he could possibly be nominated for a Razzie for Worst Actor in Mordecai, and then get Best Actor for this movie.
That'd be beautiful.
Which I don't think will happen because of just numerous reasons. I don't think it was the worst performance of the year, and I'm not sure if this movie will win Best Picture. It's really, really early in the year to tell. But anyway, Scott Cooper. A director that has kind of polarized people. If you remember, we saw Out of the Furnace, and I don't remember if you really liked it or not. With Christian Bale, yeah, you were iffy.
It was okay.
I was one of those.
I was like bored.
I was more of a defender of that movie, but before he did that, he did Crazy Heart, which is a critically acclaimed movie, very, very good. But he is definitely more of a slower paced director. He's a visual storyteller, but Johnny Depp looks like he's finally bringing it back, and I'm hoping going into this movie he really gives a great performance. And even if he doesn't, that movie has enough people in it for us to be occupied as well. We have Joel Edgerton, who delivered us with The Gift, which was one of the best movies I've seen all year. Benedict Cumberbatch, one of the hottest people at the box office right now. You got Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades of Grey. You got Corey Stoll, who was in Ant-Man this year and very well known from the first season of House of Cards. Kevin Bacon, who could complain when you have Kevin Bacon, and I'm sure there's a few other people that I'm forgetting right now because that movie is so just
stacked with talent.
Stacked, exactly my words. So I'm looking forward to this movie. I obviously, like many big film people, have known how important the gangster picture has been to movies ever since the early years in cinema in 1920s, 30s. So I've always been a fan of mobster movies and gangster movies, and the movie is going to be revolving around James Whitey Bulger, a Irish crime boss from what they call Southie, which is South Boston in Massachusetts. And I'm really hoping this movie communicates a great story, gives great performances, and is a movie that is very, very memorable. But this is also one of those movies you're like, it can't fail. And then you see it and you're like, what did they do? Because we've been through many of those. Counselor comes to mind. So
God, that movie.
You remember that? One of the weirdest experiences I've ever had. But nonetheless,
good old Penelope Cruz, though.
Penelope Cruz, Cameron Diaz, Brad Pitt. Remember how Brad Pitt?
Steve Jobs.
Oh man, Brad Pitt.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs is in it?
Mm-hmm. Michael
Fassbender, right? Yep. Anyway, let's get into Black Mass. I want to see what's going on. I hope this movie is great, like everyone is saying it is, but as we've come closer to the wide release, I've heard more mixed reviews. Not super mixed, like, oh, it's awful or it's good, but just more of like, okay, it's not the best movie ever made, so everyone needs to kind of relax. So I'm excited. Let's go do this. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes. I'm ready for the return of Johnny Depp. I just hope it happens.
All right, so I just got out of The Maze Runner, Scorch Trials.
Yes,
we haven't seen our review for that. It's already online.
Check it out right here.
But you're talking about Black Mass, Captain Jack Sparrow himself.
Captain Jack. I am so proud and so happy to announce that Jack is back. But Johnny Depp has made a return. And hopefully it stays consistent like this because I was blown away by his performance, as many people were. to really quickly talk about this story, it only concentrates a very specific time of Whitey Bulger's life. And it's a very interesting time because a lot of people aren't aware of what the whole situation is. But Whitey Bulger, who was an Irish crime boss, allianced with a good childhood friend, John Conley, played by Joel Edgerton, who works for the FBI. And basically what happens is that Whitey Bulger will give them information on the Italian mafia, their rival. And that kind of allows him to do whatever he wants. And this incredible, not like very unknown alliance that happened pretty much just made a crime boss even more powerful. So it's a very interesting story, and Scott Cooper tells it very well. And I think one of the best things, I'll obviously kind of focus on Johnny Depp right now, is that he literally emulates the devil himself. He is just pure evil. The moment you look at that kind of dead gray eyes that he has, you're just looking into the eyes of the boogeyman. And Scott Cooper smartly kind of always keeps him in somewhat of a shadow to always just kind of give him more of that spooky feel. However, he's a character that you don't necessarily empathize with. You don't necessarily feel for, but you don't hate him for being the bad guy he is, which some really great mafia movies or mobster movies do. However, there is one scene later in the movie that just kind of makes him, it really shows you what kind of monster he is. The most shocking part about this movie is that Joel Edgerton, I think, puts up an equal match performance. Nice. He was so good in this movie. Very different. He doesn't play, Johnny Depp had to play a very straightforward character. My only criticism is that his character doesn't change, which is based off the real character. He was a bad guy, he stays the bad guy.
He's a gangster.
He's that ruthless person, where Joel Edgerton, who plays that FBI agent, is from this, is trying to do good and kind of gets himself involved with Whitey and ends up kind of bringing him to a more darker side. And that makes him not only interesting, but he does it so well. After the Gift in this, I was trying to say like, oh, that's the guy in the Gift. That's Gordo, and I couldn't put them together. They look like completely two different people. Same thing with Johnny Depp. I completely lost that actor. His superstardom, his celebrity disappeared in this movie because he was really Whitey Bulger.
Immersed in it, huh?
Immersed. And so was Joel Edgerton, and I hope he gets enough credit because he is so good in this movie. My only problem is that I think that as great as the story is, it's not tight. I think Scott Cooper really wanted us just to kind of focus on Johnny Depp so much that it's just about him doing what he's doing rather than following a tight story. So it doesn't necessarily give us a lot of places to put our emotions or invest our time in. We're kind of suspecting of the events that are going to unfold, and especially if you're someone who knows history, knows what happened with Whitey Bulger, you kind of already know where it's going. So it doesn't allow us to put our emotions somewhere specific. I think that if we would have focused more on John Conley, the character Joel Edgerton plays, it gives us more of an A to B kind of movie where we get to see his full transformation. And though we see it, we don't focus on it. And I think that would have been a thing that I would have liked. Great performances from everyone. A lot of people are asking me about Benedict Cumberbatch, who doesn't really have a major role. He has probably 3 solid good scenes, and he's really good in them, but he doesn't have much to work with. And that's what everyone is. Corey Stoll is maybe in the movie for 10-15 minutes, and he's solid in his performance. Kevin Bacon, Dakota Johnson is in it for maybe 10 minutes, but she is great in her 2 scenes with Johnny Depp. Absolutely great. The performances really drive this movie on all fronts. Everyone is good in it. Overall, I really, really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I think it would have just been a little bit tighter and a little bit more effective if we would have focused on a specific character like John Conley rather than just kind of seeing Johnny Depp go. But, I mean, there are so many great tense moments watching Johnny Depp be this villainous character that it's hard not to enjoy.
Do you think he's going to get an Oscar nom?
I thought this is easily his best performance in years, and arguably one of his best performances of his career. But I think it's so early to tell that it's really hard to say. I thought he was really good, but I'm going to say no. I don't think he's going to get nominated. Maybe at the Golden Globes, because the Golden Globes are all about the celebrity. But I would actually be kind of shocked, just because. Not because of how his performance is, but just because I would think that in the next 3 months, 4 months, whatever month we're in, we're gonna have a lot more to have. So
the ones that people are really gonna push.
Yeah. For the award kind of campaign. But I'm really interested, and I hope. Really enjoyed it. One of the better films of the year, but don't know where it would fall if it would fall in my top 5. So it was no
like The Gift
it was
better?
no Max Fury Road.
What about The Gift?
Yeah, I honestly think that The Gift will stay with me more. The thing about Black Mass is that it's still really fresh, you know? So I have that on my mind. The Gift has stayed with me, so I'm interested if Black Mass stayed with me. But I think, if anything, Joel Edgerton's performance and Johnny Depp's performance is going to be the thing that I remember most.
I love it. I love it. And you can go to chasecinema.com/
Black Mass.
full-on review written by
Myself, talking
Jacob
about the Johnny Depp revival.
No. That's exciting.
I want you guys to go see it.
I'm going to watch it
I think
in
people are going to
24
really
to 40
enjoy
hours
it.
with Kente.
I hope they don't fall on the kind of hole. It's a slow movie. It is a mafia movie. It is a storytelling movie. It's not something that is all shoot 'em up action. It's not Public Enemies, thank God.
I've never seen Casino, Godfather, any mob movie. Never seen them.
I know what I want for Christmas. I want 6 hours of your time, and I'm just gonna make you watch
6 hours? Already going to Star Wars.
6 hours. That's not even enough to show you the whole Godfather trilogy. That's not even enough time to show you Goodfellas and Godfather.
Never seen that either.
Ugh.
All right, we'll be back in 7 days because in 7 days there's
The Intern,
Anne
possibly
Hathaway, Robert De Niro,
The Green Inferno,
Eli Roth, the cannibalism, eat each other alive,
the wide release of Everest and
Jake Gyllenhaal,
Hotel Transylvania 2.
boom, Adam Sandler,
Yes, and if also make sure to check out our reviews for the Scorch Trials, which we already did.
already online.
That's in the description box, as well as our review of Everest.
Already online.
Make sure to go check that out.
Love it.
Go see Black Mass. See you in 7 days.